Is it possible for healthy eating to go too far? If so, how do you know when it's gone to that point? Hello, my name is Stephanie. I'm a therapist on Long Island, New York that specializes in the treatment of eating disorders and body image issues. If you are interested in learning more about eating disorders, eating issues, body image issues, general mental health and well-being, and therapeutic tools that can help all of the aforementioned, please subscribe to my channel because I think you'll find the information provided here very interesting as well as useful. And today I wanted to talk about orthorexia. Have you ever heard of it? Orthorexia is one of the newest forms of an eating disorder, or the newest recognized, rather, eating disorder out there. And technically, it's still not a diagnosis, which is surprising. In the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, it's not there yet, but that doesn't mean that it is not very real. So orthorexia, if you haven't heard of it, it usually is, well, we see it a lot in athletes. We see it a lot in people who are, gym goers, religious gym goers, or people who are just very rigid with what they feel is healthy eating. And there's some very fine lines with orthorexia. So one, it's very important to distinguish orthorexia from anorexia. So usually the big difference with orthorexia and anorexia is that orthorexia is very much in the name of health. It's about wanting to be very healthy. It's usually not about the desire to lose weight, although usually because your diet becomes so inflexible, weight loss does occur as a byproduct. But it's not about a fear of gaining weight and all of that stuff. When it becomes a weight thing and it's a body image issue type of thing, and there's a fear of gaining weight and there's a rigidity around eating, and it's really not even about being healthy, it's rather just more of a focus on losing weight and having a skewed body image, that becomes anorexia. In fact, with my orthorexic clients, most of them will not even like the way that they look because they feel that they're too thin. That's a big distinguishing factor between orthorexia and anorexia. Now, the problem with orthorexia, it's a little harder to spot and to identify for most people. And that's because it's so praised in our culture. It's all about the diet culture, and it's all about, it sounds like it's something that you're doing something so good for your body, that you are really being extra good with your eating and making sure that you're always eating healthy, and people tend to admire that. Now, what is wrong with this? So I do want to make sure that I make the distinguishment. I'm not exactly sure I'm using that right. I do want to make sure I'm distinguishing one from the other, or when it becomes from healthy eating to unhealthy orthorexia. So the distinguishing factor, I keep saying distinguishing, I feel like I'm using it wrong. So one way to possibly check out whether someone is suffering more with orthorexia, you usually will see clues in how they label themselves. Most of the time you'll see labels as they are GMO free, they're vegan, they're vegetarian, they're only eating organic. And while I really want to emphasize, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. Usually there are factors that you're thinking that you're doing the better thing for your health, or there's ethical or conservation issues that you're concerned about. And to each one's own, everyone needs to make their own choices with all that stuff. The problem is when it becomes inflexible. So personally, I try to eat more organic things because I feel it's better for my body. I feel better when that's what I'm eating the majority of the time. However, I also like to go out to eat, and I know that the restaurants that I'm going to is not using the best quality of meat that I like to take when I do eat meat. I know they're not organic, and it's something that I'm okay with because I know that for the most part I'm feeding myself with what I feel is best for my body, and it's okay that I can go out and eat something that's non-organic because, like I said, I know I'm taking care of my body, and that's where the flexibility comes in. If you feel that you want to eat, mostly vegetarian, that is something absolutely fine if that's what you decide that you're going to do. However, at what point does it become something that's just so rigid, and where does it take away from your mental health? So what we really need to focus on here is a flexibility factor. With orthorexia, it becomes very, very inflexible. So the way that might play out, let's say you are in high school and a bunch of your friends are going out to an ice cream shop to celebrate a friend's birthday, and you say, oh no, I can't go because I only eat organic, or I don't eat sugar, or whatever you're thinking that is the best choice for you. That becomes to be a problem, because now it's starting to interrupt your normal life functioning. It is normal for a high school student to go out to eat or go out to ice cream with their friends. And if you feel that you're no longer able to do those types of things, the things that are normal for your age and for your peers to do, then it becomes a problem, and then it becomes more of an orthorexic type of thinking, as opposed to making decisions that you feel are best for your health. So that's a really important thing to note. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. When you're trying to feed your body what you feel is the most nutritious or most healthiest option for you, I'm not trying to take away from that. That's something that's totally your decision. But I do ask that you try to be flexible with that. And then you do have the flexibility to go out and eat something that's not necessarily according to your eating plan. So that's orthorexia. It's really the extreme measures to eat healthy, or what you deem to be healthy, with very little or no flexibility. So it's very rigid, and then it starts to impact your life functioning. So that's an overview of it. I know I could talk so much about this, but I just wanted to put out a little bit of an overview of what orthorexia really is, so that you can actually reflect on yourself. If you feel that you're very healthy or anything like that, but you might be experiencing people telling you, like, this is getting a little too far, or why can't you come out to eat with us, or something like that, maybe it's something to reflect on. And maybe you might not be doing everything in the name of health. Maybe it's become more of a rigid thing, and usually that might occur because you now have a fear of going off of that in any way. And that, that's a whole other issue, so I'm not going to talk about that any further. But it's something really important to recognize in yourself or in others, so that they can get the proper help, or you can get the proper help, because that will ultimately start to interfere with your normal life functioning, and that's not cool. So I hope that is helpful for you, and it kind of tries to explain a little bit more about the fine lines between healthy eating and then extreme rigid healthy eating, or healthy eating. So if you like this video, please like it, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in these types of videos, or you find them helpful, please subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in learning more about these, I also have a blog. I will link it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. And I hope that you have a really great rest of your day. Bye.